Carolina. And this is my first screen recording YouTube video that I'm trying out. And I'm trying this because I recently lost my job. And I am trying to learn UI, UX design, product design. I did a little bit of that with my last job, but not a whole lot. And I decided, hey, why not capture my learning journey on YouTube? Maybe it'll help somebody. Who knows? Maybe it won't. I don't know. But this is me trying to learn this. So I've already started on this one. I'm actually doing Rad Nolan's Rad 70 challenge to get me kind of started on everything and learning Figma. I'm also completing his Figma course, which it's called Figma Pro Workflows. So that's been really helpful. I did another course back a few years ago to kind of learn the basics of Figma and all of that, but I feel like this is kind of taking it to the next level, which is super cool. So while we're here, I'm just going to kind of talk through, what I'm doing and what I'm attempting, and you'll get to see my mistakes and what I do to kind of figure some of these things out. And, we'll just kind of go from there. So that's what I'm here trying to do. And I am now wishing, so like I said, I learned like one thing, and then I'm now trying something different. So one thing that the Rad Nolan course has taught me is like focusing on frames instead of rectangles. So all of these are rectangles, so I'm actually going to adjust this to use frames instead. Give it a fill, and we're going to use this fill for now. Okay. So this frame has a corner radius of 50, and my overlay does as well. Okay, but let's duplicate this and make it orange. Okay, so now all of those are frames, so I can delete these rectangles. So I'm really not like here trying to, teach you how to do this. I'm literally like showing you me learning it. Some of the stuff I'm fairly proficient in. And other bits of it I am not. So let me see. Oops, I need to go lower. There we go. That fits inside of there a lot better than having the same radius all the way around for both of those. And then, okay. I think so I do have a Mac. So a lot of all of my keystrokes and everything are gonna be related to a Mac instead of let's see, where there, instead of Windows. So I can type that in because I know where I want that. And I'm going to pull this a little bit closer. Okay. So I'm just going to manually do this. Again, we're like learning things. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to make this bigger, and I'm having a lot of issues here. Probably because I have it within a frame. So this, and now this. There we go. Okay. See? We're learning stuff. So, but I do want these to all be the same size. So this is at 407 now. And, oops, I want to move all of this. How close is that? One thing I like to do, and I feel like this is kind of beginner level, but it works for me. So one thing I like to do is I like to line this up and find out how many pixels are between these. So it looks like 20. So, and then if you press option, it'll tell you. So I'm actually really, really close. I'm at 19. So if I move that down, I'm at 20. So I'm actually kind of impressed with that, because just to eyeball that and get it as close as I did is pretty awesome. But over here, I'm not at 20. So I'm going to bring this out to 20. And then down here, I'm at 17. So the way that I'm getting this information is I'm pressing option, and then it's telling me I have my frame here selected, and it's telling me the distance between whatever layer my mouse is on and what I have selected. So I have this selected, and then if I wanted to come out here, I can hover over this background image, and it tells me like, oh, this frame is 85 pixels away, and this one is 115 away. So that's something that I have used extensively, even as I've, just kind of been learning things. So I made this a little bit bigger, and now I actually need to make it slightly smaller. So let me take this frame, and I want it to be 20. I'm going to try and do it manually this way, see if I can get it, but I think, yeah, it's gonna. Alright, so we're going to take this down. I'm at 17. That should be 18, 19. Yeah, one more will get me to 20. There we go. We're at 20. Sweet. So now I have the proper dimensions, 20, 20, 20 on my sides. Okay. And now I kind of want to look at my radius here. And my background radius. We're going to take it down to 30. That looks... it still looks a little funky. Maybe this one is a little too... Yeah. That looks better. So all I'm doing is part of this Rad 70 challenge. He actually sends us these screenshots or these UI shots, and then we're just trying to recreate them. So that's it. That's all that's to it. And this is kind of how I'm starting. So this here is actually a subtract that I did. So I have my my overlay and then a rectangle, which I sized by literally doing the rectangle over this. And then turned it into a mask that that I subtract, and then like anywhere I go, it's like a hole to that background image, which is super cool. I don't know if that's how this is done. It doesn't look like it. It looks like this is a completely different image from what the background is, but I really like this, being able to have this, and then, mainly just knowing how to do it, because it's easy to, put in a different image and put a square around it. This is a little bit more challenging, so, and I didn't know how to do it initially, and this is where I use GPT a lot. I actually came in here and said create hole and overlay, and I said, how do I create a hole in Figma to allow a background image to show through an overlay layer? And it gave me the how-to, and then I went in and followed those instructions, and bada boom, bada bing, now I have a hole in my overlay. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to move on to this header here. My plugin of choice is Iconify. And so we're looking for a search icon. And I'm going to use this one. I want it white. And I'm going to import it as a frame. Here it is. All right, and it looks like it might be a little bit bigger down there. So we're gonna try 28, and yeah, I think that matches pretty well. We don't need that filled in. Cool. The only thing is it looks a little bit, thin compared to this. So I am going to try and find a way to, make it thicker, but I'm not seeing that. Let's go into vector, position, dimensions, appearance, fill. There's not a stroke there. Got select matching layers, create component, edit object. Let's try this. No mirroring, corner radius, opacity. Apply blend mode. I don't want to do that. So I'm not seeing a way. And that doesn't mean that there's not a way, but it's such a small, like, inconsequential thing that I'm not going to worry about it any longer. So that's just personal preference there. All right. So I have my search, and then I need to create these here. So now we're going to add a text field. And we have explore. And this can definitely be bigger. We'll do 14, probably looks about right. All right, and then I'm going to duplicate this. And we have stories. You would think with my contacts in I could read that, but apparently not. All right, so we have that, and then we've got our header. So I'm going to turn this into medium, and we'll try 24, see what it looks like here. Oh, definitely gonna need to be bigger and bolder. It's never too late to try something new. All right. So they put this on a new line, so we want to keep with that just so that I get the sizing right. And they've actually got a different font here. That is not correct, but it looks really close. So I'm actually going to stick with this one. Alright, we want to make sure that this is lined up with this explore here. And me take this down to regular. I'm not very good at knowing what font style is being used just yet. And I don't feel like scrolling through that whole list. So if you know right offhand, I would love to know. Alright, and then I'm going to duplicate this just because it gives me the right sizing that I want. As far as like where it fits. So, but we're going to take this down. This is significantly smaller, so we're going to try 3 paths lead to knowledge. The path of reflection is the noblest. Of imitation. Oh, what do you know? That's essentially what I'm doing here. Is the easiest, and the path of experience is the. Does that say bitterest? It does. I spelled experience wrong. Alright. And these should be lined up as well. Leave it a little more space to breathe there. Good, good, good. Alright, and then we have a button. So I'm going to use just a good old frame. And here, we'll go ahead and add a fill so I can see where it is on my screen. There we go. And I'm gonna use this to get my sizing exactly like I want it. And then our corner radius, got a deep corner radius. It's actually a little bit shorter than what I have here. There we go. Had the wrong thing selected. Selected the whole thing. Alright. So I chose to use a frame here. Because I'm trying to utilize these frames a little bit more. Because what I'm hearing is that it's a little bit easier to, adjust things within it. So, it says book now, so we're going to make mine say book now. And place it in here. So one thing, I'm going to try center, and then, so I did that by pressing Option. Let me see what happens if I press Command. Okay, so it kind of just stays the same. No, it overrides that. Oh, interesting. So if I wanted to like move it apart from my text, I can press Command. But then if I wanted to, you know, make this scale together, I can do that by not pressing anything. So that's pretty neat. Okay, good to know. See, this is why I'm bringing you on this journey, because these are the kinds of things that I always miss when I'm watching like a tutorial session. I'm like, wait, how did they make that decision? How did they do that? So that was why I was like, you know what, as I'm learning this, like maybe there's someone else out in the world who's like, I really want to learn Figma, but I need like a way easy way to learn it. And so that's kind of my goal and intent here. So, all right, so we're looking pretty solid. Let's, I am going to, you know, fit the words in here, and then I'm going to try and do these little accessory things after that. So text, we have the word explore, and the handy thing about this, let me zoom in here so I make sure that I have it highlighted. Okay, so we're going like real big, like let's start with 50. And we'll kind of go from there. And I think that's actually probably really close. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to bring it over here. And I don't know if you know this, but if you come up here to this ruler, you can bring this little red line down and over. And then I believe you can do the same thing where if you select it, yes. So this is 21. So I'm actually going to do, I'm going to try and bring this in like 1 pixel. Oh, that was more than 1 pixel. That was 6 pixels. $21. I'm going to put this at 20 because that's what this is, and I'm going for like absolute consistency here. So let me bring, yeah, this is where I want this. That is fine. So this 22, so we're going to bring it over to 20. This word is stories. And let me see if I can find out. Oh, do I have a gap? I do. I think you are the problem child. Okay, gap inverted, but that means that this might be off a little now. Okay, it's not. Sweet. And this one, 20. Awesome. So let me select this 119. So I'm gonna grab another one of these, and I want this to be at 119 for these as well. 165, 119. Awesome. All right, that one can go away. And we're going to duplicate this one. Bring it down. There we go. And now I'm going to duplicate this one. Awesome. And these words were about and help. Now it looks like I may not have left myself enough space for these. So maybe it's okay. Get that lined up. All right. So explore the best places deals. Okay, it's not the best English ever, but I'm not gonna get mad about it. It's not that big a deal. I'm gonna duplicate this, so explore the best places deals. And I think it actually needs to be a little bit smaller. Alright, so we've got it. Up. And this is actually kind of different. So if you look at this closely, you can see like this is off of here by a few pixels, and this one is like resting right up on it. But I really want these to be like perfectly lined up. So I'm actually going to move this in here and then use that to guide that one. All right, and then I'm going to duplicate it and write this one, which is our customer and company stories. All right, and then duplicate this one. And our company history. And FAQ and support. All right. And then I want to make sure that these are lined up correctly. So what do we got? Right on. There we go. And that is off by a little bit. There we go. Awesome. I'm actually realizing that it might be better no. See, it's one of those, like, you get into this point where you're like, well, what am I going for? You know, like, should these all be lined up by letter? Should they be lined up by, you know, this little thing? And it's hard because letters can be so different. Like, it can change, you know, the spacing of something. Like this A, you know, and this S is going to be a little bit different. But we're going to call these good. And I believe it is Command Shift R. No, never mind. I don't know what I did. We'll try Command R. Nope. Look at this. Just learning Shift R. Shift R is the magic button that makes those red lines disappear. But I personally prefer like going in and just deleting them. Which may not work out for me later on, but we'll learn it as we go. Okay, so I have all of my text and everything here, and now I want to add these little things, and then we'll be done with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna start with these squiggly lines because that's actually something that I do not trust that I'm like skilled at all. So let's go to shapes, and we have line. Great. But let me move this out of my way. Image, video, arrow. Yeah, we just have line. Okay, so I'm going to trace this over, and I double clicked on it, and oh, look at that. Now I've moved it. Okay, and now I'm going to double click. This is very interesting. I am not doing anything. I feel like this is probably maybe not the way that this should be done. But as I like come over the line, it's giving me like new endpoints to move around. So we'll see what this turns into. Okay, well, we have a squiggly line now. It is not smooth by any means. And it was kind of ugly before, now it's even uglier by itself without anything behind it to make it okay. So we'll leave this here, but I'm gonna hop over to my chat GPT and I'm gonna say, how do I create a wavy line in Figma? Okay, so we can use the pen tool. This method is best if you need a free-form custom wave. You have full control, but it's purely manual. Use repeated arc segments. Draw an arc. Okay. Okay. So use the pen tool. So we're going to delete. Wrong thing. There we go. Delete that. Use the pen tool is what it says. So we're going to use the pen tool. And I'm going to trace over this. Okay, so it looks like that might be almost exactly what I did before. Oh. No, it is different. Okay. Kind of similar. I feel like I'm going to end up with an extraordinarily similar thing that I had with my last one, where it was kind of choppy. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, look at that. There's a little bend tool. Okay, so listen, if you have worked with Figma a whole lot before and you are watching this, don't judge me. We're learning, you know? That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. Okay, so bend. Where? Draw my line. Bend. And can I... Okay, so I need a new... It looks like I need a new anchor point. Anchor that one. Bend. Oh, that's... not what I'm going for. Whee! Okay, it is by no means perfect. However, that is the closest that I've gotten. We have a little bit of a squiggle in there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Okay. How interesting. Okay. So we got our squiggly line. It is, again, it is not in any way perfect, but it exists, and frankly, that's more than I can say about 10 minutes ago. So, all right, we want to change this to white. Oh, you know what? It's not white. It's like this light purple color that we've got in here. So we'll change. We'll use the right color. Here we go. All right. The about has another squiggly line, so we're gonna try this again. All right. So I'm using my pen tool, and this is literally, I'm following what ChatGPT told me. So I'm kind of visualizing this. So I've got my first point down, and then we've got a curve that comes here, and then I'm going to come up here, and then here, here, and here. And then I'm going to click on my bend tool. I'm going to come in here, and this is where I start bending things. So kind of bending it down. Looks like oh, nope, can't grab that. But I can work this. This one is coming up. This is coming down, and this is coming down. So the only thing that I might change about this one, and I'm actually going to try again, is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to make a longer like thing, and then come here, and then here, and then finish here. And now I'm going to try my bend tool. Bend that, bend that, and bend this one. Oh gosh. Well, now I have like a river. I don't know where it went. No, because it's behind everything. Okay, so deleting that one. Okay, trying again. So here to here to here to here. All right, bend. So I'm gonna bend you, and then I'm gonna bend you, and then I'm gonna bend you. I got a little bit squiggly there. So we're going to smooth it out. So when I double click into this, it gives me these additional like points here that are what I'm using to like kind of smooth out this wave a little bit. And check this out, like, man, my first line was struggling a bit, but this one actually looks pretty solid. I'm absolutely in shock. I cannot believe that that looks as good as it does. Is it perfect? No, by no means. But it is so much better than the first one that, man, that's exciting. Okay, so there's that one. And now I have one more here. Pen tool. So we're starting here. And we've got a marker like right here. And then here. And it goes back up. And then comes back down and finishes. Alright. Pen tool. So this is coming up. You are coming down. You are going up. And you are coming down. It looks like I might have, oops, looks like I might have a little bit of smoothing that needs to happen here. So we'll smooth that out. Amazing. Alright, so this is gonna come down here and looks like it is white. Okay, well, compared to that, the rest of this is pretty super simple. Because now we just have circles and squares. So let's finish this up, and then I will get off of here. We got a circle. Nope, it's even probably about that big. Alright. So that one's going above here, and it's going to be our blue. And I'm actually just going to duplicate this one circle over and over and adjust the size. I want to lock my aspect ratio, and I'm going to take this one to like 60, because he's not much bigger. He's bigger than that, though. We'll do 75. That looks about right. And he is our orange. And then we have another circle that's right about 50 that's in here. And that is our light purple. And then we have another one that is our blue. It's in our about. Oh, I think this. Yeah, it's a little bit different than this purple, but close to the same. Alright, and then we have a teeny tiny circle up here. I'm gonna guess maybe 20. Oh, my aspect ratio broke. Oh, you know what? Because I duplicated the wrong thing. Mm, 20 is... Oh. Actually, I think 20 might be correct. It's orange. Alright, and then I have 2 more here that look a little bit smaller. Oh, you know what? I think this one's a little bit bigger than this. Let me lock my aspect ratio and change it to 60. Yeah. Alright, so we've got this here. So I'm going to duplicate this. Whoop. We're going to take that out. And it's a little bit smaller than these guys are. But I'm going to put it in here and then duplicate that. And then we can work out the sizing here in a little bit. So it's going to be smaller than 50, but bigger than 20. So we're going to do 30. And I think it might actually be closer to 40. And then it's kind of centered in there. So we'll lock this aspect ratio, 40, lined up and tucked into our corner. I'm going to tuck you into the corner a little bit more. And then this one is our orange color. Okay, and now we have a couple of little rectangles that look like confetti, so I'm going to switch this to rectangle, and I'm actually going to, well, that didn't work, so that's fine. It's going to go on its side. Shrink it down. Got our orange color, and then we have a smaller one. Duplicate. We have a smaller one sitting pretty dead even. That is a dark purple, and I want to shrink this, and I'm not even gonna try and get in there. I'm just gonna do it kind of this way. And then we have another one. It looks like this might actually be like the exact same right in here. And same with this. Looks like close to the same size, just put on its side, but not directly the same as this one. Alright, and then looks like maybe a slightly smaller version of this is over here, so I'm going to shrink him a little bit more. And we have this one. Which disappears as soon as we get onto the orange, because it's what orange does. So a little bit shorter and facing this way a little bit more. Okay. Well, it is not perfect, but it's pretty close to what we had. So I'm going to call that a win. Thank you so much for being here. I will have more to come tomorrow. We'll have a whole new UI design to look at, whole new thing to learn. I hope this is helpful to someone. And if you've stuck around to this point, thank you so much for being here. Talk to y'all tomorrow.